Hey, my name's Kalia. I'm the in-house ceramicist here at Crockd, and today we're going to make a mug together. So sit back, relax, make sure you've got your crock kit, your tools, and a glass of water if you want to follow along. But otherwise, grab your first bag of clay out. We're only going to use just under one today. And now we're going to just snap that in half thereabouts. Doesn't matter if it's not completely even. And with the bigger half, we're going to use that. Pop the smaller one back in the bag and seal it up. And that will make sure it just stays nice and moist. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to hit this into a ball and make it nice and malleable. So now you should have a ball that looks a little bit like this. It should be nice and soft and warm. What we're going to do is start making our pinch pot. So how we do that is we pop our ball in our non-dominant hand, put your thumb through the middle to locate the center, and then you're going to push pretty much all the way through to the bottom without breaking through. Show something that looks like this. Now you've done this, we're going to start pinching it out to make the base of our mug. So grab your thumb, use your fingers as support, and you're going to pinch into your thumb and pull up while rotating the ball. Do this until you have something that starts to look like this, and then keep on repeating it, starting to make the shape of your mug. Now you might notice some areas that are wider than others and some that may be thinner. Work on the wider ones to start with, and if you notice any cracking, just ignore that for now and we can all fix it up later. At this point, you can grab your tools if you like, grabbing the spoon side and the curve and pushing that into your pinch pot to try to help make that a little bit deeper. Pinching the top of your mug helps create the straight edges versus having them caved inwards. So I'm just grabbing my fingers and just pinching in between. Now you have a general shape. What you can do is pop your pinch pot onto the table and just give it a bit of a bang to make sure it ends up with a flat bottom. Now you can start moving out your shape with both your fingers, just slowly moving the clay. And again, any kind of rough areas, don't worry too much about those. Always use your hand as support as well so you don't stretch the clay too much. Now to fix up the edges of your mug, what you're going to do is grab a little bit of water, dip your finger and just smooth out any cracks. To get rid of any of these super uneven areas, what you can do is grab your little wire tool, get the triangle side and actually carve away any areas that are too high. Dipping your tools in water is also a really good idea to make sure you have a smooth playing field. Once you have your shape that you're happy with, the final steps is just smoothing it out. So you can do this a couple of ways. You can grab your spoon tool, again, dip it in some water and smooth out any of that rough texture. So now that you have a shape that you're happy with, the ideal thickness that you want is about 1/2 centimeter. If you get stuck, just refer to a mug that you already have at home as well. And the next step is just adding a handle. So once you do that, pop your little vessel onto the table and grab out some extra clay. So ideally, we want to pinch off about this much. But again, there's no right or wrong, so you can use more, less, you can always take some away. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put that extra clay into a ball and start to mold it again. You're going to pinch some off and keep it to the side for later. Now that you have a ball, you're going to start rolling it in your hands to start to create your handle. So for your handle, you can have it as thin, as thick as you like, just play around and experiment. How we're going to attach the handle is a thing called scoring and coiling, which will really help your handle stay on so it won't accidentally snap off later. So what I usually like to do is just manipulate the clay in my hand and have a play to see what looks nice. If you have any cracking kind of appearing, what you can do is dip your fingers in a little bit of water and rub that out. So your handle's probably going to be a little bit too large. What you can do is you can actually just trim that off if you need to. Now that you have the shape of the handle that you want, we're going to do some scoring and some coiling to attach it. So first step is basically just finding the space that you want it to sit on the handle. So like that, and indenting the vessel a little bit so you know where to go back to with the scoring. Scoring, we just grab this tool and what we're going to do is we're going to do some hashtags into the mug. This helps rough up the surface so you can join the two pieces of clay together. You're going to do the same thing on the 2 points, or 3 or 4 that you're adding to your handle. Now just add a little bit of water and rest it onto your vessel. So give it a little bit of a wiggle to help that scoring kind of, join and become one. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to get our tool and we're going to blend. Once you have that attached, we're going to do an extra little coil for some extra support. So for this, just grab a little bit of clay, and this is going to wrap around the base of our handle. When you're something a little bit like this, just dip it in some water because it can get quite dry, and wrap it around your handle. Just remove any excess if you have any. The next thing is we're going to blend it. So grabbing a little bit of water on our tool, and then we're going to push the coil down and pull up. Trying to really push that coil into that little air gap that we've created. You're going to repeat that process for the other point on the handle. Now you've gone around and roughly smoothed out your coil to your handle. What you're going to do is you are going to just smooth it off with some water. So using your fingers, your tools, whatever you like. And this is also a really good point to kind of do a final smooth of your little mug that you've created, and then putting your initials into the bottom of your vessel, so your name will be on it forever. And there we go. We're all done. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy your craft-a-noon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you make next.